Hey guys, welcome to the woods. Well, here's a topic that I've often thought about. Actually, it was one of those topics I'm checking for cicada all the time whenever something touches me. I'm certainly not wigged by them, but they're big and they come crashing on you. But all this rain we had, I think they died back a lot. But anyhow, faith. Faith is a funny word. It's like when I was a kid, they talked about, I remember like one scripture sort of stuck out in my head. I grew up Catholic, but now I'm kind of like, that's just a language. There's many languages. They're all talking about the same journey. There's no magic ticket. There's no formula. It's like you just got to follow your inner bliss, your inner guidance system, which is guided through your feelings, your emotions. That's how your higher self, your energy ball, the who you really are, that sense of your higher self speaks through your emotions. That's how you feel things. There's no words, no book written for you. There's no owner's manual. Just got to feel your way through. And you're going to have tugs that go certain directions, certain things of interest to you, then follow those. Don't follow me necessarily. If I'm not your jizz, don't worry about it. But anyhow, so faith. It's kind of a weird word. I don't really use it much anymore because I'm like, it just doesn't have any oomph. What the hell is it? People are more on like gratitude right now, the power of gratitude, which I'll get to. It sort of ties into this faith thing. So here's some things that I've gleaned over my years. When I was in my early 20s, I took spiritual development classes, channeling, psychics, tarot cards, crystals, dream interpretation. We did everything for years, and it was a great course. And so we met once a week, and my teacher was always putting out the same words. Thoughts are things, don't forget, thoughts are things, thoughts are things. So I got that point, but over the years it sort of grew, and I got to, there's some book I'd wrote this up specifically, and then I sort of latched on it, and I've seen it everywhere since. But the saying was this: thoughts are things, very powerful creator in your life, manifester, whatever you want to use. But more powerful than your thoughts are your words. Like me thinking what I'm talking about right now happens all the time. Now I'm speaking about it. It's even more powerful now. It's integrating into who I am. I'm owning it a little bit more. I'm assuming that I'm getting wisdom about it because I'm curious about it, and I know that whatever I'm curious about, I'm curious for the reason of it's coming. Of course, if the thought entered my mind, if it entered my bubble of energy that I call my higher self, my aura, my soul, that true self has a connection, frequency, and it's connected to all knowledge, all information, unlimited power, all that. That's why, like, when I was a kid, they talked about in the scriptures, it said, if you had the faith of a mustard seed, you could move a mountain. So that's what supposedly Jesus said. But it's a saying that all religions have, whether Jesus said it or not. Faith is a powerful creator, and you only need a tiny little bit. The saying that I got stuck with as a kid was, if you had the faith the size of a mustard seed, tiny little bit, you could move this mountain, which we think, like, who's going to move a mountain with their mind, But that stuff was always of interest to me, so I always sort of, I worked on it some years, and then some years I was like, kids and business and everything else, so I just got busy and, never was not paying attention, never not aware of it, but I wasn't pursuing it like I am now. So, fussing with this question of faith. Thoughts are very powerful creators. More powerful is your speaking, which I talked about. More powerful than that is acting on. So act as if it's already happened is more powerful believer, more faith. There's more faith to act on something that you don't see yet. So an example of that would be, for me, I've started a bunch of businesses over my years of working. And so you have an idea, that feels nice. And then you talk about it some, not asking people, what do you think? You think this will work? That's never a good idea. Really kind of keeping it to yourself, I think, is very powerful. Little pro tip. But when you're talking about it, you're talking about, what's going to happen, how things are going to go, talking to other people, or talking to, anyway. So talking's more powerful. Then acting on it would be as if I were to say, well, I don't have the money to start this business, But I feel that that's coming. I trust that that's going to come. I just know that I wouldn't have this idea if the money wasn't available. So it's not in my bank. That doesn't matter. The money's available, of course, because all resources are available to me. It's just a matter of, can I create a synchronicity that brings the money into my world? Well, I have to hold the frequency, the vibration, the faith that it's coming. So, if I'm going to hold that frequency, which I think works better than faith, if I'm going to hold the frequency of something's coming, I can't hold the frequency of feeling that it's not here. Damn, where's that money? Damn, I need the money to start this business. Damn, if I had that business going, I'd be so much happier, and I wouldn't have these money problems, and I wouldn't have this stress, and and people would think I was great. And, you know, so all the junk that you would want when you finally get there, you're only thinking about because you know you don't have it yet. And if you know you don't have it yet, then your frequency is you don't have it. If your frequency is you don't have it, then your faith is saying it's not coming. I don't know why I say the faith is saying that, because it's such a weird word, but you have a frequency of a question, of wondering, of doubting. There's no way it can come to you. The synchronicity can't happen. The universe can't provide you the frequency of the gift, if you will, whatever that is. Clarity, understanding, you know, connection, synchronicities. It can't give you that gift if you're not in the right frequency. The frequency of the gift is one of gratitude and thankfulness. So you got to have faith to have gratitude. You got to I know it's coming, so I'm just thankful. And you can say, well, I'm really thankful for this tree, or I'm thankful for my cup of coffee this morning. That's what kids would say. You need to get where I feel confident that everything's always working out for me. And I feel confident that if an idea comes to me, then it's a potential of something I can do, be, and have. So I get an idea about something. It feels like a real idea, not a I wish I had, or I wish I could impress this person, or I wish I didn't have this problem or that problem. That's not an idea, that's a complaint. That's a funky vibration. So you're going to have funky vibrations sometimes. There's no way to get around it. Everybody gets them sometimes. You just ride them out and let them go. This I'm talking to you about now is when you don't have that funky vibration. How do you get out of it? How do you move up? How do you climb? How do you build on these tools of gratitude, faith? So you think about it, you talk about it, you act on it, all before you see the evidence of it. Acting on it's very powerful. The most powerful creator, the most powerful faith is just knowing it's already done. If I can know the business has already started, it's like that just sounds corny. As soon as you say that sounds corny, it can't happen. Now I'm in doubt. Frequency changed. It's like trying to stay dialed into, 98 rock when you want to listen to country. It's like, you just can't do it. It's a tiny little turn of the knob. But you cannot hear country music on 98 rock. And vice versa. You can't have, and one of the things that spiritual teachers talk about is if you're looking for an answer, you can't be in doubting mode. Questions and doubts brings questions and doubts. So you interpret matching frequency. It's like I've talked about. It's like gravity. It's the same thing. It's a law. It works exactly, precisely. Density falls faster than non-dense materials, but everything comes to the earth with the same tug. Everything matches your frequency exactly the same. If you don't have manifesting miracles, it's because of self-doubt and question and lack of gratitude and all those things. But, we all have it, of course, because we're not, not a lot of miracles happening around, but there are some for sure. But this is getting to that other nugget that I like to chew on, is the whole placebo thing. Why don't we talk about the power of the placebo? It's like 30% of the people get cured things by just sugar pills. But we're like, all right, well, we don't know how to deal with that. We don't even have the words for it, let alone know how to teach it. And anyway, so it's coming. That's for sure. The answer to that, the placebo being as a science, is coming. but there's just no money in it yet. But it's not really the money, because that's such a cliche thing to blame it on. Oh, the man doesn't want to give us the real stuff. He makes us dependent on the chemicals, you know. Chemicals are a result of the energy of your sense of self. Your frequency affects your body. It's the frequency that puts together the particles, not the particles putting together frequency. The frequency creates the chemistry in your body. If you got a chemistry problem that's going to be solved with a chemical, it's after the fact. You've already got the frequency. But it can make you feel more optimistic. Oh, I'm so grateful for this pill. Or I'm so grateful for the doctor who tells me I'm going to be okay. I'm so grateful for the fact that I'm on my way to getting better. And you start looking for, oh, I feel a little bit better. This day's a little better. That's a little bit better. And then you just get away from that frequency. You know, I don't want to belittle the whole, I've had illness. It's not, I don't know how to wrap my mind around that and get myself out of illness. But I just know that when you're in gratitude and positive and self-love, your frequency's clear and your health is better. There's no two ways about it. We all know that. If you're in a funk, fear vibration, you're going to not feel so good. Your health's going to deteriorate. No question. Beyond that, it gets tricky. So I'm not going to open Pandora's box here and have people sort of like, you know, you're saying it's all in my head? No. But your head has, you know, you have the power. You have the faith. If you have the faith, you have the power to heal yourself. Everyone does. I will not back off on that point. But I've never done it that I know of. You know, I've gotten over things, but I think like it's just so my immune system finally beat it. Well, your immune system could beat it quickly or beat it long after now, or never beat it. But how do you build on your immune system? You got to feel in harmony with your surroundings. Your frequency has to be high and positive. So gratitude, self-love, those things are all very important. But let's play out a quick little scenario, and then we're going to hang this up. Let's use the example of a business. I'm trying to start a business. So I have the idea. Just occurred to me. Oh, that kind of business, that seems great. So I want to open the business. I need a location. And I need money. I don't have any of those things. Well, that's all right. It'll come. So that's why I say don't work too hard at it. When you're feeling really good and inspired and positive, it's like then reach out to the world, because the world is going to synchronistically match your frequency. I feel the frequency of this is going to work. So I'm going to go make some calls and do some things. When I have the feeling of frequency, same thing. When I have the feeling frequency of a little bit of questioning, a little bit of doubt, a little bit of like, I don't know, this is going to be tough to pull this business together. I need a lot of money and a lot of people and a lot of synchronistic things to come together to happen. So that's not the time to act and do. Then you just sit and say, I got to go back to that sense of everything's always working out for me, and everything that if I had the thought, then I know that's coming if I allow it. It's coming into my ethers. Because thoughts aren't generated in my brain. They're picked up from the ethers of the frequencies around you. And the collective consciousness and the vibration of the planet and the planet's location in the galaxy. All these things play into a frequency. Frequencies are very tricky. It's like, think about a frequency of a radio station, how much comes in on one little station. Or television, you know, you can see the picture and the whole thing. So frequencies are very complicated. But if I'm working on this business, get back to this example. I'm working on this business. I have the thought, so I know it can come if I can allow it. If I can not have fear and doubt, it'll come. So all I got to do is eliminate my fear and doubt, and it will come. There's no question. But I want to act also, partially because I like it. But act when you're feeling the positive and you're feeling the synchronistic. When your frequency feels right, you just got to play with that for a while and hold that idea. And eventually you'll be like, I know when I feel up and I know when I'm feeling down. All right, there, you're onto the frequency. But it gets a little more complicated. You just keep digging. So your frequency's good, act. Frequency's funky, don't act. Like don't give people advice when you're feeling down. So anyway, so let's play this out. I've moved from thinking and speaking to acting on my faith that the business is going to happen. So I start calling around when I'm feeling good about locations. Hey, you know, I'm looking to start this business, and I hear you have this building and da-da-da-da-da. And miraculously, magically, because I was in the frequency of attracting the right person in the right situation, I talked to someone and he says, you know what? I know someone who's also interested in that business and they own some property too. Now that I think about it, I think, you know, why don't you call this guy? Because I got nothing for you. It's like, oh, great tip. And then you call this guy and magic happens. But let's hold on the magic that's going to happen when I call this connection that I just got. Let's say I'm in a funky frequency. And I reach out, oh, this damn thing's not happening fast enough. I need this business. I need a paycheck. I need to make some money. My kids are hungry. So you get frustrated and you say, I'm going to do something about this. So you make some calls. Dan, you got to stop being so lazy. Make some calls and find some property. You call up and you call people, and now you're in a funk frequency. You're going to bring the funk frequency out of the other person. Doesn't mean you'll get in an argument, but they're not going to think, oh, let me think for this person. I bet I do know someone who could help you with your problem. No, they're thinking, this is, you know, a little funky here. Not me, don't have anything, thanks. All right, good luck to you. You know, and they hang up and it seems all normal. But it's like you didn't pull the positive out of the person you're interacting with because you're in a funky frequency. So when you're in the positive frequency, you get on the phone with somebody and they don't know anything, but yet they've got patience for some reason for that moment. They just, I don't know, they think for a minute. You're calm and patient, they're calm and patient. Next thing you know, an idea comes to them. I got a guy who's doing a similar thing, gives me that connection. Now I call this connection. And it's like synchronistic. The guy's like, oh, I got money. I just don't have anyone who would start the business. I'm like, I'll start the business. I just don't have the property and the money. It's like, well, then let's do it. And you know, so-and-so sent you to me. It's like, yeah, he said you might be a good connection. It's like, oh, great, well, let's do it. And next thing you know, he trusts you, and, you know, you made huge leaps in how much you've accomplished on your journey of your business. You've synchronistically matched with this magical person in your world. And all because you just acted when you're in the positive, knowing, trusting, faith frequency. And when you're not in that faith frequency, sit on your hands and walk in the woods until it clears, until you feel better. But you want to know you're going to feel positive and you're going to get in that positive frequency to do. It's coming. When you're feeling funky, it feels like it's never going to come back and you get just down and down and down and frustrated. So just know it's going to come back, that feeling of everything's working out for me. But if you know it's coming back, that powerful feeling of being a powerful creator in your life and synchronistically knowing everything's always working out for you, you want to know it's coming back when you're feeling funky. So you just let the funkiness be and say, you know what, I have faith that the positive frequency is coming back. Then when it comes back just a little bit, you're like, there it is. It feels so much better. Oh yeah, there it is. That was good. This feels good. And bang, you're right back to this tuned in, tapped in, turned on, as I like to call it. When you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on is the time to act. When you're not, just sit on your hands. Take a nap. Go back to bed. Wait till the next day. You'll perk up and get a jump start on your day in feeling positive about how things are working out. And a lot of this stuff is a lot of, you know, kind of the same way I'm explaining the same thing, but I'm just integrating into my own life experiences. Having started a lot of businesses, that was an example that made a lot of sense to me. But Abraham Hicks, I like to listen to her on YouTube, little 15-minute snippets, and if you pay $15 a month, you get all the YouTube without having to have your phone screen on. You don't get commercials. You don't have to hit through the commercials and all that annoying stuff. And that's like 5 people, I think. So get 5 friends and you spend, you know, $3. Anyway, so there's my pro tip. But work towards that feeling first. Do a lot less in your life. Let things go. Don't be focusing on what's going wrong, that's for sure. That's the path down to suffering and struggle. The road to hell. It's not anyone puts you there. You just find your way there because you feel funky and you don't like yourself. When you're down on yourself, you know, when you pass to the other side and you have more awareness, they would call that like your judgment of yourself and stuff. But when you gain that more awareness when you get to the other side, then all that funkiness that you've been feeling about yourself comes up and it feels terrible. But no one's judging you. No one's judging you on the other side. No one's asserting punishment on us. Or it's just your own funky, I don't feel good about myself. And that's totally within your control. Loving on yourself is your only job here on this planet. In the galaxy, it's no one's job to love on you but yourself. And it's your only job to love on yourself. So loving on yourself is step 1. Then you trust the frequencies and the feelings and you let them ride like the wind. The weather is what the weather is. Your frequency is what your frequency is. But you can You can nudge it. You can lean towards everything's working out and get into that positive frequency much faster. I guess the weather thing, I don't know if that correlates to this example, because I think you can change your frequency very quickly. The more you fuss with it, the better you get at it. And you know how to climb up very quickly to a positive, I know everything's always working out for me. All I got to do is have an idea, and it's coming. And I can just sit back and wait and watch it happen and watch it unfold and watch the synchronicity. And every synchronicity, write it down, draw a picture of it, own it, own it, own it. And love on yourself, 20 minutes. It used to be 15, but I'm only doing them once a week now. So you get your money's worth this way. All right, enjoy the woods. And, you know, don't forget to throw love bombs. First on yourself, then throw them on other people. When you're really totally loving on yourself and you're trusting in this whole process, and you know everything's always working out for you, and you know we're, as human beings and as a planet, as a society, we're moving faster and faster and faster towards more positiveness. So, you know, don't worry. Can't mess it up. Can't get it wrong. Never get it done. So enjoy your day, and love you guys, and I'll see you soon.